All you know is some people said so. Lots of people say so.
All of
Hold on.
history.
Do you believe in Buddha? Do you believe in Muhammad? Everybody's
Yeah, they
making the
all
claim.
existed. Yes, of course, they all existed.
Did they all have divine revelation?
Were they all the Son of God and the promised Messiah
Did they
of
all
the
have
Jews?
divine revelation?
Flow State, can you reason with me here?
You're not. Yeah, I really am. You're not in control of this conversation, though. Do they all have divine revelation?
I'm not trying to take control of this conversation. I'm just.
But can you cooperate?
Can I what?
Cooperate with the discussion, because I'm seeing he's actually being reasonable. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah,
and-
Flo is being reasonable. He's asking good questions, but like seriously, like he's asking me if I believe that Buddha exists. Of course. Do I believe that
That's not
Muhammad
what I
exists?
asked.
Of course. Okay, what did
But
you ask?
the point. So let me not. The point that I'm driving at is that there's most of the people in the world throughout history who claim they've had divine revelation. You reject.
Of course, bro. Of course, I don't deny that, but that isn't even when I came up and said, listen, the only way that we can know the objective purpose of life was what? Is if the creator of life revealed it to us.
And how do you know that since it hasn't been revealed to you? You recognize that your own claim is self-defeating.
It's not, because all of history denies the fact that Muhammad was a prophet.
What are you talking about?
Do you not know that or not?
Well,
you're making a claim.
It's
Hold on. This might be where the disconnect is. Like, do you think like Muhammad may be a prophet or what? Like,
I think it's more likely that Jesus is not God.
that's not okay. Like, that's okay. That's not even the issue here. Muhammad is a false prophet. He's the one who claimed way after the fact that Jesus didn't really die on the cross.
You know what all of history tells us? That Joseph was the only virgin in that marriage.
No. All of history tells us that Jesus Christ died on the cross. That's what it tells us. That's what all of. Hang on. Hold on. That's what all of historians that study this say.
Now you're just lying to me.
I'm
not. Slow.
Yeah, you're just straight up lying. Actually, not all historians say that, and you know it.
Right. And
I'm not
here,
lying to you, bro. Come on, bro.
Let me offer you this, Nude Tube. It sounds to me, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds to me you're coming to the right conclusions. I agree with much of what you're saying. However, what he was asking you about was divine inspiration, following through with what you were saying. You know the words, but it appears that you don't have a personal experience yet.
That's not the point. I already admitted that I didn't have that divine, but the whole thing shifted to what was in history. Now, can anyone here?
It shifted to what was in history because I asked you if you'd had a personal experience, and you know the answer is no.
No. I admitted that I didn't have a divine experience. I admitted that from the beginning. Well, come on.
Let me offer this as a possibility, okay? Because you're wondering, can we know the objective truth? What Flo said is accurate, I believe. All realizations come from within. We get confirmations from others. We get ideas from others. But you were looking outside, it seems, for answers on what is really meant to be a personal experience.
Smartest thing I ever heard you say, Jack.
Yeah, and new, but there's nothing wrong. Like this is okay. Not to like do. I mean, I'm not as old as Jack, but like, there's nothing wrong with you saying I would want like my life's purpose could be to be a lawyer. Objectively, that's true. My life's purpose is I want to, whatever it is. I want to have 10,000 in the bank. I want to be able to deadlift something. I want to be happy with my job. Whatever. I want a family. None of those things can be objective if you just say that's my purpose, right? That's the whole point of something like meta ethics or having conversations like this, is you get to refine if that was actually right in the first place.
But that doesn't get to the objective purpose of it.
What is the fetish with objective? Hold on. What's the fetish with objective?
That's,
Hang on.
I'm curious.
This guy, hold on. This was Duck? Is that what Duck?
Yeah.
No, that was Flo.
Okay. No, Duck was speaking before that. So Duck was saying about his life and this and the bank account and all that. All that
All
is,
right, yeah, I'm the crazy one. Go ahead.
That's subjective, okay? Like,
who
if I
cares?
created,
So what?
listen, if I create a cell phone for the first cell phone in existence, I create that for a purpose. I'm the one who creates that for its purpose.
Okay.
So what?
Okay.
I don't.
Point.
Yeah, okay, that's what all of existence. I'm talking about what is the purpose of existence.
Noob two.
Yeah, but what if
Here, what if I truly believe this is the answer?
42. 42.
Yep.
You may not
Everything
appreciate
people
it.
say reduces to subjectivity. Like,
That's okay. That's fine. There's no issue with this.
yeah, of course.
Listen,
We're here to make it
stop
so we
yeah,
go.
stop spazzing and listen to me. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with things being subjective. We are subjective beings, right? Our experience is subjective. Subjective is fine. The reason people want things to be objective is because they're arrogant and they want the capacity to say something for sure that cannot be refuted by somebody else. It's just competitive.
Not true.
Insecurity.
No, but okay, but Dusty is telling you about justified belief now, right? Like, and this is like very ordinary, because if I told you that when I was a busser, when I was 15 years old, cleaning tables at a Mexican restaurant, I wanted to be a Supreme Court justice, and the reason I would have justified this as an objective life purpose is because I thought that kind of work would be meaningful. I thought it would improve the outcomes people had in an entire society. That can still be true about not being a Supreme Court justice, which is something people realize when they're old and they don't have dreams, they don't have energy anymore. And so, like, that is like one of the things is, if you tell me you have an objective purpose, I want to be able to be one of those people in a society that justifies that for you. Like, that to me is a very clear distinction.
Yeah, what does that have to do with the objective purpose of existence? Like, I'm not even objecting to that. Like, I agree.
You're asking questions that are above your pay grade, honestly.
Well, I think what you're doing, your spirit wants to know, but your mind wants to stay confused. You want to stay in doubt.
Jackie, you're helping him.
Well, it's what the ego does. It wants to stay confused.
Look,
because it's afraid of knowing. The objective truth is you cannot know. You're subjective in your experience every moment. We make it up as we go.
Apart from the creator.
But okay, so if you believe in God, then if you have an objective purpose, you can't not do it, right? It would be like, so if you don't even have to worry about it.
That's the key.
And that's what faith is.
That is what faith is acceptance. Acceptance that we don't know, and it's okay not to know, but it's not okay to waste our time. It's not okay to live without a purpose.
It's not okay to not super chat.
You know,
that's also even Dusty. Fucking Jack. That's even more superficial, because you were talking not 20 minutes ago about experience and about mind and like consciousness, right? This mental stuff. And so, like, Immanuel Kant would say, well, look, if you're having an experience, you're already an objective thing. You have an end in and of yourself. How is that not like I know I'm just being very rude, but like, how is that not an objective purpose?
You racket the discipline.
I don't even know what you're at. I don't get the fetish with objectivity. I think we're playing semantic games and mental masturbation, honestly. Maybe it's my
So true. So true.
I mean, maybe I'm just dumb, but
The mental masturbation aspect of it is largely the fact that if I had a ready answer for him, he would not accept it, regardless of what that answer was.
The
because
last
he
guy
wants
that I knew
his
that,
answer.
sorry, Sasquatch, I apologize.
He wants his answer. No other answer will be acceptable. And it's whatever he read, wherever he read it, that he's taken to heart. And that's opinion, that's feelings, that's not real.
Yeah.
Man.
I want to point out,
Last person I knew that tried to reach the answer to purpose through their faith. Watched a video of him earlier today where pretty sure he's going to be in jail within the next 7 days. So maybe that's not the best path.
I'm not going to jail. I'm headed to Washington.
Not you, bro. Not you.
Well, it's faith that's leading me. And here, the key is it is a contradiction, right? It's to create the life with effortless effort so that you conserve your energy, you conserve your resources, you maximize your survivability. And in this world, we're here to discover and to learn. That's what it shows me.
That's the country wisdom too. Like if I tell someone, I could tell anyone on this panel, and you'd probably tell me correctly to shut up, but I tell you, get a grip, right? Like, get a grip on whatever you're doing, get a handle on whatever situation and moral conundrums you're facing. Like if that doesn't apply, then you're probably either don't understand or don't have an objective purpose. If it does make sense and there's some reason why that's good.
Like,
huh?
I don't
Hang
know.
on.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if we call it objective or subjective. All we're doing here is splitting hairs over something that's conceptual and cannot be calibrated anyways, right?
But it can't be.
We're not
reformed.
splitting hairs. We're not splitting hairs.
What is objective?
No, you're not splitting hairs. You came in here knowing the answer. You're trying to tell us what it is.
I'm asking the question.
Are you?
Trying
Yeah.
to force
You're dictating a question is what you're doing.
I would like to ask Duck the question. Can we know the objective purpose of life? The objective purpose.
How many times do I have
creator of existence? Can we know it or not?
How many times do you need me to repeat my answer to you?
Not you, Flo. Duck. I'm asking Duck.
Oh, you're asking Doug. My bad.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd say I would.
Duck. Let me ask you one more time. If a creator created existence, can we know the purpose of it apart from him revealing it to us?
Well, with the theological interpretation, no.
Do you get extra heaven points for this shit?
Do you think anything?
He's arguing with the
No, in
law.
fact, you lose heaven points for the shit.
Bro, come on, bro. Come on.
I don't understand what he's trying to achieve.
It's a simple question. Can we know the purpose of life apart from the creator? Like,
No, it's not a simple question. It's a question from a simple person.
It's like a red herring, though. It is because you're asking me to go find that. Like that's like asking the millionth digit in pi.
No, because I'm asking
a mind infinitely greater than a human mind. I can't know that at all by definition.
If anyone on the panel creates something in this life, if they create something for a purpose, can anyone else give that thing a purpose besides you?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
No, I take it back. I take it back.
If you create a pipe to push water from one place to another, and I then use it to bludgeon people who ask stupid questions,
I use this mat to scratch my head with more than I use it to cut things.
No.
Let me ask you a question back.
The correct answer to this is an electrician uses everything but a hammer as a hammer.
You got that right.
Staple gun.
Channel.
Okay, let me ask you one thing, NoobTube. If I tell you, and I'm super sweaty, sorry, but like,
I like it. Keep going.
I had a full, I had a full kitchen, so I'm showing you guys my nasty pit sweat. But like, so, but okay, you know, if I were to tell you, or like not like a cult leader, but if someone was to tell you that I think there is objective measures of purpose in life, you know, is that even a question that someone can answer without being accused of having hubris or humility?
That's not. That wasn't the question. No, Duck.
Oh,
If you
Lord.
But it was the question.
Bruh, you don't get to control the conversation. Your
When
question
you're
is going to
done,
lead to other questions, and you got to be able to flow with it. I know that you want us to all agree that there has to be a creator, and he told us the objective truth, and da 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 da.
No, Flo. Just calm down.
when you're done with this, let me disseminate them, please. I beg of.
Yeah,
Inseminate.
I
Oh,
like.
shit.
I just want to say I like Dusty standing up for me, and I'd also like to hear what 10th Man has to say.
Uh-oh.
Oh
I
no, I
think
want you guys to have your fun first. Nothing I loathe worse than someone taking people's money.
I do.
Oh, I love Flo.
Are they
I've
up
been
there?
here for.
Yeah. Can we give them the side by side Sasquatch so that
There you
yeah.
go.
Go ahead. There.
So these people do not want to answer your question. I would love to answer your question, Noob Tube. So just FYI, I don't know if you've ever heard 10th Man before, but I don't operate on the same levels of thinking as other people. So don't take what I say as disrespect, but I want you to ask me the question, and then, but please do not interrupt me. I will be respectful. Go ahead.
Yeah, can we know the objective purpose of life apart from the creator? If there, okay, hang on, let me rephrase it. If there is a creator to existence, can we know the objective purpose of existence apart from that creator?
No, you cannot know any of it, even with the creator, because you're not smart enough to even ask the question in a way that somebody else can understand. There's no way for you to understand it.
So you say no?
I'm saying,
So you're from
you can't understand it. You can't.
That's not.
I can, but you can't.
Can you know it?
Yes, I can, but you cannot.
So you can, but I can't. Can you bring someone else up? This
No. This is what you got now, right?
Like Duck is way more
No,
genuine.
because those people are fucking nice and they're actually trying to engage you in this. I'm giving you what you're giving other people. So just because you don't like it, don't mean you get to run away. Now you're starting to make me mad and I'm about to be disrespectful. All right?
Can I rephrase the question, asshole?
Whoa.
Did I call you an asshole? No, don't, please don't interrupt, guys. I'd love this.
If I can rephrase the question.
Do it.
Can anyone know the objective purpose of life apart from the creator?
Yes, many can.
Okay.
But you can't.
But I can't.
No.
Okay, so can
you know?
Bring up?
Would you like to know why, or no?
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because you don't want to.
Because I don't want. Because I don't want to know.
That's right.
Sure.
Because if you knew, you would shut up long enough for people to actually answer what you're saying. So long as you walk around acting like you somehow have the knowledge or the
purpose of life that the creator's given it. Go ahead, tell us.
You somehow believe that you have the ability not only to understand your creator's plan, but also to ask questions. To ask questions and then not allow people to answer them, like just right now, right? You start trying to troll me because you don't like what I'm saying.
What is the objective purpose of life that the creator is?
And you're talking over me because I'm breaking your programming. You came up here with an agenda.
Yeah.
They fed into your agenda. I'm completely destroying every part of your psyche with just a few words, which means that you're a fragile imbecile that's wasting people's time. It is great for content, but there's no fucking payments. There's no donations or anything coming in. So this is all for naught, right? So
Right?
do you understand? Do you understand that you aren't smart enough to have this conversation, sir?
I understand that you haven't answered it.
No, I did answer it. You just don't like the answer.
You have not answered
I have an
it, bro.
IQ of 236. I think I can do this.
That doesn't even exist, bro. You're a retard.
Okay.
Shut the hell up
All
and
right.
get out of here.
Why am I a retard?
Because 236 doesn't even exist in IQ.
It doesn't.
Not for you, for sure.
Not for me. Oh, not for me.
Right.
That's interesting. So you now told me
Okay, can
that
you prove
I'm
it?
not smart
Okay,
after I told you you're not smart,
Can you prove
and
that you have a
somehow
236?
that's a dig at me.
Bring it up on the screen right now and prove it to all of us.
No, I'm just wondering how you can use my insult back at
Well,
me,
you
and somehow
can't
that's a
prove it.
dig.
Shut the hell up and get out of here, dude.
I've already proven that you're not smart enough to have this
You haven't.
conversation.
You've proven that you're a fucking retard, dude. Get out of
What are you
here.
talking about? I have answered all your
Can't
questions.
do
Now
shit.
now it's your turn to answer my questions.
What's your question?
What gives you the impression that you personally have some type of purpose?
Purpose? Because Christ died on the cross. Like all of
No.
his.
You give me evidence just like you asked me for
Oh my
evidence.
gosh. Now
give
you
me
are
evidence
interrupting
that you
me.
have a
Well,
purpose.
let me interrupt.
Because
You
that's
won't.
how science works. Unlike you, I know the scientific process. Unlike you, I know how to interpret data. Unlike you, I understand how the preponderance of evidence works. Me saying I'm unsure is the most fucking scientific thing I can say. You saying you are sure is the most unscientific thing.
Yeah, notice how the
Think you
low
lost.
IQ guy wouldn't let me answer the question, right?
Go ahead and answer the question.
Low IQ.
Can I jump in here for a second? NoobTube, all you had to do was come up and state your position instead of these 64 questions that went in a big circle. Just state
Bro,
your position, what you believe, and then other
I
people
came
can
up and
dissect.
stated my position. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Then why do you keep asking us the question?
Exactly.
I came up
I
and
also
stated
gave you an
my position.
answer like an hour and a half ago. Procreation and expansion. That's the purpose of life.
You guys are fucking sophists, bro. Is this flow sophist?
It's pronounced sophist. First off,
Is this sophist or what?
I prefer to be called a nihilist.
Sophiststate.com.
Yeah. We're gonna do a ritual for him later tonight for with the pentagram, the candles and the 5 points in the circle.
Whatever it takes.
Right.
Healing is being sought.
Healing or something, right? If you wake up in the morning and you know how to play the fiddle real well, then you're welcome.
I'll give props to Doug. He was the most legit, genuine one on the panel.
I think that you're actually the least.
I might be genuine, but I'm also highly confused right now because you told me to be
still
like
the most genuine.
a nihilist, bro. I
How
know.
are you qualified to make that assessment?
Because he was honest. He wasn't fucking an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't being an asshole.
Oh, poor baby.
You know, the reason that we're starting to be assholes to you is because you're kind of being an asshole to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I came up with a genuine question, a genuine position.
We answered it. Everybody answered it several times.
Proposition, and all of you
you never made your position clear. You kept answering with another question.
Ask the question.
Chuck's actually correct.
Can we know the
his
purpose
answer.
of life apart
You
from
ever
the
seen the movie
creation?
Dead? Jesus. Look what Jesus did.
Okay, but here's the thing: is if Jack is probably the oldest and most life experienced on the panel tonight. Him or Sasquatch.
Chuck is way older.
If and I mean that affectionately, right? You guys are handsome, only sort of creepy.
Can we cuddle now?
But if one of these guys said, "Look, I found purpose in my life, whatever, as a fucking telemarketer or door-to-door sales guy, but that was only for a couple weeks out of my life." That's still that small thing is still an objective purpose. If they're being honest with you, that's hard to argue with.
Yeah, but that would still be subjective, right, Duck?
Look, the way that he's measuring subjective and objective means you don't get to choose, God does. I think that the whole distinction is stupid, and it's born out of a desire to be able to say things that cannot be refuted by others. You want more authority than you get, stay in your lane.
Yeah, but Dusty,
Well,
you're gonna do the you're gonna do the
open
top shelf
shooting, bro.
psychoanalytic,
Actually,
psychology stuff to prove
Yeah,
that we're all
you're right.
subjective.
I know things.
Yeah, and actually, this is something I'd like to point out. The conversations tonight, they got a little tracked off, but it's been a good example and a good learning opportunity. One of the benefits from these panels is when people have honest conversations together and calling each other politely out on our bullshit. That's kind of what's needed for people to change. And what's the name? Noob Tube. You joined with correct questions, but I don't think you're really being honest. Some of the answers given back to you have been pretty reasonable.
I'm being reasonable and honest. I asked the question.
Oh, that's freaky.
Right. Move beyond what you remember into the actual.
Go into what you don't remember.
Well, right. Selective memory. You're selectively choosing what you're going to consider. It's been
Later.
even.
Oh, thank God.
Nice. I see what you did there when you was moving it. You made him the chick on the black couch.
I just want to say, I hope he I don't know. This is my first time on your show, Dusty. I
That
hope he
was
comes back.
me.
But he was being tautological from the start. He was creating a question that I don't think anyone would have been able to satisfactorily answer.
Well, when you ask a question, that's the reason we got two ears and one mouth. You can't hear anything if you're constantly talking over the person giving you the answer.
I thought it was so that you wouldn't try to suck two dicks at once.
Well, that's what you guys are doing, not us.
That is a fair argument. I think I gave him a pretty reasonable answer.
Everybody did.
He
just didn't want to hear it.
He wasn't accepting reason. He wanted miracles.
He wants to stay confused so he can be right, convincing himself it can't be known. But it's a common trait. I'm remembering myself. I went with the title of agnostic for many years, and then I never looked. I never seriously looked. Some of the earlier conversation was with NoobTube was about the fact that there have been people in the past who, according to the stories and the records, they were divinely inspired. The divine information moved them. And I think we all have that.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
I mean, the idea that men would try to usurp God for their own purpose,
it's crazy.
It's absolutely guaranteed, right? So I don't know.
Satanic, it's evil.
It's all in the way. It's all in the subtleties, right? Because as I understand the relationship, think about love. God created us, cause and effect are the same. We're made in the image of. God's here to serve those who are here to serve God. Love is here to serve those who are here to serve love.
When you start doing these logic trends, I lose you.
I know.
Not because I'm illogical, but because you are.
I'm not illogical.
Oh no, I'm now the girl on the couch. Oh God.
It was.
Oh boy.
It was through logic that I found these answers. But my life showed me, right? It showed me that surrender is the best way. You got to accept. You got to accept what life has brought you. It's ugly. It's unfair. But so what? How do we know what's fair?
But you withdrew from life. You quit playing life.
What are we looking at here? What's scrolling across the screen?
All right, so these are the 50 hottest mug shots of the past like 5 years or so.
Nice.
Why are we putting men on there?
Because
tenth man. Yeah, 10th man's here. Gotcha.
Women exist now, Chuck.
It's a
They're real
subjective
people.
measure, I think. I don't know if you could say that only a man or only a woman could be hot.
Yes, you can.
I could say many things, sir. That doesn't necessarily.
In fact, bro code mandates that you, in fact, do exactly that.
I mean, that guy number 31 is pretty handsome here.
He's
number
also
32 is
domestic
doing
violence,
it
so
for
be
me.
careful.
He does look like he had a bad day. That's not a
That
bad.
looks
That's
like
not just a bad day. That's like a
That
horrible
looks
day.
like
That's the worst day
MS
possible.
people there.
Good job, Sasquatch. 10th man is here. Jack's rubbing his legs, and you're the one that made it gay.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I can fix her.
28 looks like a what's his fucking name? Do you guys know Nicholas Irving? Do you guys know Nicholas Irving? That sniper dude that's on YouTube.
Was that the 6-11?
What did number 30 do?
Predator.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not on this one.
Holy gosh. Life is crazy.
10th man accidentally put himself in the back, by the way.
Oh, did
Yeah,
he?
he's blowing up the chat panel right now about it.
Also, NoobTube is nothing but
proof that. Pull up the proof of me putting hands. Last time I checked, I put dick on a bitch. Unless you can show me otherwise. Show me that I put hands on a bitch outside of my dick.
Were they alive?
Oh,
The
10th
word
man
they
said. 10th man
That's
said he
too funny.
accidentally kicked himself. If you could bring him back up.
No, nothing's
Dusty, how
connected.
many clips do you have in
Hold
StreamYard?
on. We can't bring him up because nothing is connected. It
How many-
disconnected from YouTube. StreamYard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How many of those video shorts do you have in StreamYard right now?
I'll, as many as they'll let me.
100.
Like maxed out, whatever it is.
All overlays, background tracks, clips. You're allowed 100 media items, and I definitely have 100 maxed out. Most of them are clips.
Oh yeah. Flow's always over limit.
Awesome. That's awesome.
But I don't have the clips and stuff.
So Flo, do you live your life on, or this for anybody? Do you live your life on what ifs or what is?
I don't know what you're asking me.
When you're living your life, do you sit there and say, well, what if it's this or what if it's that, or do you go by what it is?
I normally go. I'm more of a what it is person than a what if person.
Okay. Just curious. Anybody else?
Yeah, I do Sasquatch. I do 24-hour periods where, like, I try to do like that living in the now, that living in the now BS. But like, if I can't plan
that wasn't
a day
me. That was Chuck. Chuck is not Sasquatch. Sasquatch is not Chuck. Just because we're both rednecks doesn't mean you can't tell us apart.
I'm much better looking. Anyway, go ahead, Duck.
I don't know. Oh, I was looking at fucking Sasquatch. Yeah, I go by 24-hour periods in my life. If I can't plan 24 hours, I don't know what I would do with my day.
Oh Lord.
I'm neurotic like that, but I try not to, like, longer term stuff. I try and live in the present.
Gotcha.
And I'm honestly confused here.
Okay.
Do you not have a 2-year plan? Do you not have a 5-year plan? Do you not have an imaginary image in your head of you retired sitting next to an RV fishing and
who are you asking?
Doug.
I have no plan now. I'll be honest. So I'm just trying to return to work right now. I took a very long parenting break, and so I have like, my life isn't as topsy-turvy as what Talcott was talking about earlier. But I don't have a feasible way to plan around what 4 years would be like right now.
Do you believe
That's
in
kind of like me? Yeah.
Can I jump in here?
Say that again, Sasquatch.
That was a great question, Sasquatch, regarding goals and regarding Chuck's question. Do you live by what is or what ifs? How do you know you've got the right what is if you don't wonder the what ifs? And if you don't wonder what if, what might be possible, then you don't have a goal. And if you don't have a goal, then you don't have a
that's not exactly true.
Okay.
Because you got to live.
Which
You got to
parts are
live by
true?
what is the reality of the situation.
Okay.
If I sat on my couch thinking about, well, what if this or what if that, nothing would ever get done around here.
Right.
So I have to abide by the what is.
Well, you're
What?
finding a disagreement without a, or
No,
finding a
no.
distinction without an issue.
It's not a disagreement. It's a philosophy.
It's both. You've got to live with both. What
Boy.
is. If you don't look at what if, what do you
I have
do?
an additional question for Doug. Do you believe in any way in the concept of manifestation?
Not really. I think that's new age hippie bullshit.
Okay, so let me take an effort here to kind of change at least a small amount of perspective on the concept. I don't believe that you can think things into being. That is not the way I believe this works. I believe you can visualize yourself in a situation on the regular, and at some point in time when oh wow, Rocky just showed up, I think. Wave your hands around. At some point in time when you come across the opportunity to make that visualization happen, you are more likely to recognize it after having visualized it than not. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but you just can't visualize it and make it happen.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
You have to take the opportunity when the opportunity comes along,
Right.
but you won't recognize that opportunity without considering the opportunity might exist in the first place. And by visualizing it, by manifesting it in the new age guru sense that you don't like, it may put you in a frame of mind capable of taking advantage of that opportunity when it takes place.
Well said. There's a lot of science and studies and data that explain why that works. By what you're saying, by visualizing, and it's bringing the picture into our mind, and that increases the chance of our finding the answer. If we find what we seek, and what we seek is an idea, it starts as an idea of the mind.
It's so hard for me not to troll right now.
I'm trying to digest that.
Breathe. No, it's a really thick concept. It's like porridge. You can eat porridge by the spoonful, and if it's thick enough, you can pick it up in heaping spoonfuls. And if it's really thick enough, you pick up the spoon, and the whole bowl comes with it. And this is
brick a house. Yep.
Well, it's kind of how it is.
A lot of thickness going on there. Huh?
Well, these ideas, I didn't just come across these and think these were the right ideas, but my life has shown me these things. What the spiritual teachers of the past were teaching, the practice of how to think, not what to think. The spiritual practices were to teach us how to think with a clear mind, absent of worry and thought.
I gotta call that out. Maybe sorry, you're halfway in a judgment or a statement, and it seemed like it's spurred out. But the only reason I'm gonna say something here, this is my 35-year-old energy, is that I also think those sort of manifestations and visualizations can be like a little bit like a representation of something else. And so when I'm like skeptical about planning beyond 24 hours, and to everyone who's watching on either stream, look how far that's gotten me personally. I'm not complaining, but that's what you get back. But like I'm even skeptical of my own self setting a goal towards something that I don't understand. Like that's a different thing.
Can I jump in here? Because this is where my life is taking me. I learned a long time ago from one of my early life coaches, right? Once you find a dream and a vision in your mind that feels right in your heart, you may see the end of the tunnel, the goal of where you want to get, but you don't see the path. You don't see the direction. If you can find that first step, take that first step with confidence and then reevaluate what is, right? What Chuck was saying. We don't have to know the whole way, but we've got to be willing to take the steps. That's what I want.
Is that one of your human brain thoughts?
But the ego will also will mislead us. It will make us believe that we're
hold on, Mike,
doing right.
Mike, talk for me.
Oh, hey, what's up?
That you?
Oh, is this Mike? Is this Mike 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Hey, Mike, you got any human brain thoughts to share with us?
So sorry, guys. I just joined in, and you know.
Yep, that's Mike.
Hey, guys, what's up? So first of all,
hey, Mike, catch you up real quick, and then get right back to you. I just saw Montiero sent in $2. He says drinks for Chuck and Talcott.
Beautiful, thank you.
So Flosty, you're my brother. Everybody else, I apologize if I
fuck yourselves.
You gonna hurt my feelings.
See what I'm saying? Anyway, hey, yeah. So Sasquatch, I'm sorry, if I put you in the spot, but I.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm just telling him what you're really saying.
Yeah, no. So Sasquatch basically, when it comes to history Americana, this is the motherfucker. I'm sorry. No,
that's because he was alive back then.
No, this dude. Forgive me for putting it that way. But no, this dude knows about the history. And
Mike, where are you going with this plane?
I don't know.
No, I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody, respect to everybody.
Okay.
Give respect what is due.
I mean, you got me. You sent me some respect and love. Fuck the rest of them.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to. And 10th man, salute to you.
You're welcome.
Hey, 10th man is 10th man is one of the he's homosexual, but you know what? Like he's in my opinion, he knows where he stands, and I have to respect that. He's not like fucking one of these people that trying to, with the fucking what is it?
Mike, what in the fuck is going on here?
What he's trying to say, but he doesn't want to sound gay. Is quite obvious that 10th man has an above average penis.
Flo is talking.
That's why he doesn't act like a pussy.
Flo is full screen.
Yes, I'm just trying to show love to everybody. So Dusty, I'm just trying to show love to everybody.
It's disrupting things. We get it. You love us. We love you back. We don't need to go through everybody one by one. I don't mean to be a dick.
You could have waited till after he was finished flopping my ego.
Do 10th man. Do 10th man.
Yeah, 10th man. Nah, man. Like 10th man. You know what? He calls it as it is. I have to respect this dude. And one thing I do respect 10th man because like at least he's not fabricating shit, and it's not like with this fucking what is it anyway with the
those were some amazing human brain thoughts.
Yeah, like.
What's
And,
that?
10th man is a man's man. There we go.
yeah. So
You,
10th man,
okay.
10th man is with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what?
Okay, you got hold on. At 2:00, we're shutting. You have till 2:00 to get in donos. We'll extend $1 a minute. At 2, we're cutting off.
Yeah, please
Don't worry,
donate,
Dusty,
guys.
I got your
Jack
back,
and
man.
Dusty have been super generous with their time and everything, guys. So I mean, if you're not in a hardship and you're considering giving
Who's
to
that
this place, this is a
speaking?
good one.
Who's that
Duck.
speaking?
That's
Duck.
Duck.
All right,
I'm
Duck,
getting
Duck.
in on the grift and the
So-
donos here.
Yeah, I got you, Duck. Yo, Duck. So you know, I wish you could actually like even because obviously I'm gonna put in, but
I'm gonna
even
get smoke a cigarette. You guys got to keep Mike in order.
Mike has to. Mike, everybody does really appreciate the contributions that you've made for Flow and or Powder Dusky in the past, but I sometimes think that he should charge people when they're drinking extra.
perfect example. Yep. No, definitely. Nope. I agree. Yeah.
I heard that. Take some money.
Make some money, and that's the thing. 10th man, you.
I think it does at least. It at least lets Dusty and Dusty can zone out, and then that means, we can banter a little bit when donations come in. It's a good thing. I know people get tired on these longer streams, but
I woke up for this.
Thank you for doing that.
That's the truth. I mean, there's always a little extra, right? When we get new faces and stuff on the panel like this. But you guys can hear my voice. I don't do these panels that often. I'm already getting
We can
tired.
hear
you. I've only been up here 45 minutes or so.
Rocky, hey, salute to you.
Hey, what's up?
Duck, you've been up here for over 2 hours. I've been here for 2 hours.
Hey, the idea of you said something today, the day of in the tradition of the Christian, it's a celebration of the return and the resurrection of the Lord. It's said, He has risen. And today, in the likeness of He, Jesus, the perfected one, we have risen again today. And so the question is, just because we rise again in the day, do we wake up? Do we seize the day, or do we go through the old habits and put on the costume of the past? It's time for the world to awaken.
Oh, man.
I know, man. I'm loading my pipe up, so I think I'm going with the second part.
When you get up and do what needs to be done, you are seizing the day. You're taking responsibility for your life. You're not just getting up and going to bed, like, was it Groundhog Day?
Chuck, if all you're doing is paying attention to what is, what happens to show up, if you're not thinking about what if, what are you doing in your day?
I'm planning every step of the way.
I mean, there is a fair amount of penis sucking going on, but I don't know if that counts.
So
Whoa.
Chuck, you sound older and wiser than me. What would you recommend for me to take my clown shoes and shrink them a little bit if I have to wake up and I have to answer to fucking Talcott up there with his smug look? His smug look.
Great question.
You have to live in what you're given. If your mind is going 9,000 miles an hour all the time, even if it's just 5 minutes, figure out somewhere you can go to try to calm that mind down. And if it's making out a list, okay, I got this to do, I got this to do, and I got this to do. Not look at it as I got 30 things to do. Just take it one at a time and mark them off that list. Then when you look back at it, you can see you've accomplished something. You don't have to beat yourself up, because what'll happen is you'll sit there and you'll get so caught up in all these thoughts or these actions that you'll actually end up procrastinating and actually getting farther behind.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
It does. It does. It's just that, it's just the thing is, Chuck, no offense, but like,
Oh, that's fine. I've got none
I'm not
taken.
the only one. I'm not the only person on YouTube right now who doesn't have a thing to make a list with.
You don't have a pencil?
Figuratively.
Or was you talking about the mind doesn't allow you to?
Yeah, I mean, I do have lots of. I have Sharpies here.
Oh, okay.
I have a letter opener. I know.
I didn't know if you was being facetious or not.
No, I have a red
All right,
pen.
I'm gonna do
I
it.
have a yellow
All
pen.
right, 10th man, help me out.
Doc, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. No offense, but I'm doing good. Do you know what I mean?
So, do you think that part of the reason that you're asking this question or having this dilemma with your human brain thoughts, that part of the reason why you might not just try things until you find your niche, the thing that you would be happy doing or find validation in doing, is because you are worried that maybe you might not get the validation from anything, so then you just don't try?
Good question.
I don't have a problem with validation. The thing I asked Chuck was how I don't show up and look like I'm leaving a clown car going everywhere. The thing that
let's assume
so if
you
I'm not
are
making a
looking
fool of
for
myself, then
validation.
I'm not a fool.
Let's assume, and I'm not saying validation of the people. I'm saying, okay, so what? I'm trying not to make it about me, but you're making me. That people always say, "Oh, you make everything about you," because if I don't, then people say, "Oh, that's not what I think," and then I get a fuss. Then I got to do the second thing anyway. All right, so for instance, one of the reasons I don't do things is because I don't think it's worth my time.
So that's an
Right?
instant, right? Not worth your time.
But that's kind of what I just laid out for you too. That I don't think I'm going to get out of most things what I would need to continue to do them. Right? Like, I'm the type of guy who
try.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but that's the thing.
No, it's
How
a
do you
very
know
good
if you
question.
didn't try?
That's a very good question, but so I'm the type of guy, right, where if I don't see a reward from what I do, I will stop doing it. I won't do something in the hopes that in the future I might get out of it what I need to feel like I need to continue to do it. I'll try it a couple times. If it don't work, I'm just gonna go. I'm moving.
You're starting to sound like bro, dude. You're starting to sound like noob tube, man. You're starting to sound like
I
noob
think the
tube.
same
Like
way.
there's nothing objective or subjective.
Here, can I jump in here? Because seriously, Duck, I hear you asking questions, and it seems genuine. You're trying to figure things out. If you're willing, reach out to me offline. I'm easily accessed, social media, my email and phone number are easy available. And
yeah,
it's just weird because when I heard you say that you wanted to have a certain amount of money in the bank, stuff like that, and I go, so
hey,
if
I said $10,000 in the bank account is like, I think for a lot of people it's a lot, but that's a reasonable goal. In the United States, a lot of people need that to feel comfort or safety and stuff.
So for me, if I hear you say that and I have that, then that makes me feel like there's even less hope for me, because if I have what someone else needs and I still don't feel valid and validated, then that means that even though I'm one step closer, maybe I'll never feel that.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yep. Is it possible? Oh,
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
Is it possible for me to conduct a small conversation with Duck? What is it about the 10,000 that you mentioned that you said if I could have $10,000 in my bank right now? What is actually how that basically how that inspired you? That if I could only have $10,000 in my bank, could I ask you that, Duck?
Yeah. It really doesn't. If I had $10,000, I would blow through it right now. I would buy a road bike. I'd waste it all.
Right. So everything that I asked you was valid. You just didn't like how I asked it.
So if I were to so okay, so like I would think about what 10th Man said a little differently. I would say like $10,000 in the US in savings would mean that I could actually realistically spend a day working down a list of things to be productive, and the next day if I felt like there is a non-linear way or a safe way to go do that, I'd be able to do that then on that day. And so, you know, it's not about eliminating excuses, but it's sort of eliminating excuses.
Just because for me, I see an able-bodied young man, right, that has every opportunity, whereas I do not, because I have a lot of physical disabilities, right? But I still try, and I still do things in real life and on the internet, and it makes me feel less likely to ever achieve anything that makes me feel happy when I see somebody who has more advantages than me in the same place.
But you're gonna make me like ugly laugh with that, right? Because you know, and you know, whatever. I'll be the lib cuck for a second. Is that I could give you a laundry list of reasons and excuses, mental health, long gaps in my resume, all kinds of reasons why I would have a really difficult time going back to work.
Yeah, but all long gaps in your resume, go volunteer somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever.
Can I jump in here?
So before you jump in, this is the problem with society. Okay, I promise to be brief. I promise. Forgive me, guys. You know, this guy is basically he looks like an athlete, and yet he's about to give you every fucking excuse why there's no potential, no possibility, and why he cannot achieve his goal. Motherfucker. I'm sorry. Okay, now I stay quiet. All right, I'm gonna mute myself.
What? Because I'm back.
Flow state. You're my brother.
That's right. Yeah. He thinks he has neighbors here.
My brother. All right.
Lobster with $5. Thank you, Lobster. Oh, it's funny. Thank you, Lobster. Blessings.
It's just I watch Flo. I watch Flo, who has a criminal record, and he tries. That's why I support him. That's why I respect him, right? Even though he has reasons, which I've seen these same reasons break other people. We watched one of them earlier today. He's not letting it break him. He's persevering. He's changing it up. He's meeting Talcott in a seedy motel, right? But I'm hearing other people. I'm hearing because he's doing stuff I would never do, and I respect that. But and I'm not coming at you, Duck. I'm not. But when I was your age, I started a whole new life, and I was disabled. It's weird for me to see you saying, "Oh, things are rough," when I don't think they're actually rough. I think you're caught in a helix. I think you're eating your own ass.
I have to disagree. Most people under the age of 35 are having it really, really rough. Just because you don't see it, don't mean it's not a fact.
You're stuck. You're stuck in a limbo. You're stuck in a helix. You're eating your own ass.
Hold on. No. To the guy who just said that people are having it really rough. And Flo, you can interrupt anytime. It's your show. I want you to just give me the one specific thing that you believe that a 35-year-old now would experience that I didn't experience 10 to 13 years ago.
Well, for one, the housing market.
The taste of Tide Pods.
So I looked for 7 years for a house. I finally found a shitty old house that's 25 minutes outside of town that was in my price range, which is super cheap compared to what most people would ever find. And that was 3 years ago. So there are houses, but what you mean is they want to live in the city. They want to live.
Aren't you
They want to live in the city, right?
Let him speak.
They don't want to live in the woods like I had to in order to buy a house, right? Now, what I'm hearing is a bunch of, and listen, I don't want to say this because I sound like an old man.
He does.
But these are a bunch of whiny little brats that have no idea what a real disadvantage in life is, and they need to shut the fuck up and go work at McDonald's and sleep on a couch of their buddies. Like a lot of us fucking had to, like I had to when I was homeless.
Like a bootlicker.
Reductive reasoning plus you're Canadian.
I've been trying to jump in here for a while.
No,
if you gotta go suck some dick for some money to get back on your feet, do it. But shut the fuck up about it.
You just want more male prostitutes. It's okay.
You know what?
Wow.
So I'm gonna jump in. So basically, you know, like you know, we live. So you guys might disagree with me, but we live in the greatest country in the world. Basically,
Yes, we do.
I mean, I think it's one of the better ones, but like it's just, yeah, whatever. It's not, you know, Canada has more upward mobility potential than the US.
More? Nope. You're thinking about 5 years ago.
Okay, you're right. I am. All I'm saying is the whole rah, we're America, we're the best. Like objectively, you're talking to yourself. It's not good enough.
No, and I'm not disagreeing that I'm not disagreeing that the fact that we have
1 minute left to extend the stream. $1 a minute. Donate to either me or Jack. Either way adds to the balance.
I sent you a super chat.
I see it.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing the fact that we're.
Dusty. I'm gonna self-remove myself. Someone give $100 so like Mike and these new fucking people can like blabber on.
Someone gave 100.
Doug.
No, I'm telling. I'm ordering commanding from.
Doug, I'll give you $100 if you stay the fuck and you stay quiet. I'll give it to you.
No, it's all good. You guys hang out. Have a good night. Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for coming up. Come back again anytime.
Hi guys.
Shit, man, this
guy. Nice to meet you. I'll be around these streams.
Don't give up on us.
I'm not giving up on you. I'm saying that it's going to be later.
I just came into the panel. Give us an opportunity.
He didn't like the answer, Mike.
Oh shit.
All right. We have hit the 2 o'clock a.m. Shut up. Okay, we got 2. Check and see if you had donuts on your side. On my side, I got. Let me see. On my side, we got Lobster 2.0 gave $5. Shout out to Lobster 2.0. That's the improved Lobster who'd follow Jordan Peterson's steps and clean his room. Chuck in Tennessee donated $5 for his illegitimate son. That is me. And Uncle Fatty dropped $10. He said, "Let the good times roll." So we got 20 more minutes. You got anything over there? For shame.